Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It is a wonderful day again, and in today's video I want to do a quick review of Bridgerton season 3. Guys, towards the end of last year we saw the Bridgerton cast, I think Netflix as well, dropping a video where they did and now we're on season 3. Oh my goodness guys, I am obsessed. Obsessed does not even begin to describe. Obsessed is an understatement for how I feel about Bridgerton season 3. Guys, season 1 was amazing. Season 1 is still high up there. Season 1 obviously set the pace and brought us into this world of Bridgerton, especially for those of us that didn't read the books. But season 3, there's just something so relatable about season 3, guys. Like, it is the friends to lovers arc that I know a lot of us are familiar with. And guys, Polin, give me 1 second. Let me drop this. Guys, Polin, this friends to lovers story in Polin, oh my goodness, like, it is incredible. Everything from the acting to the costumes to the hair. Obviously guys, we know Bridgerton hair and makeup and costume department does not fail. They don't fail, they don't miss. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Bridgerton makeup crew, they don't miss at all, ever. And what was so interesting was actually seeing Penelope begins to have modern looks. So, you know, her makeup changed, her hair changed. If you guys noticed, I saw the little ringlets of baby hairs. I thought it was really cute. I thought it was so fitting for a woman that was previously a wallflower, you know, just always hiding in the backgrounds, and for her to finally have her big moment and be recognized by the love of her life. I thought it was so powerful, guys. Everything. I think for me, when we look at part 1, my favorite bit of part 1 was when Colin walked in on Penelope reading his journal. I thought that moment was so powerful. If you replay it, you'll see the way Colin looked at Pen, almost like he was discovering her for the first time. And I feel like that was when Colin actually saw Pen, like, you know, I feel like that was when Colin actually saw Penelope as something other than a friend, or something possibly other than a friend, obviously, because he didn't know how she felt towards him. But the way he looked at her, because of the tenderness, you know, the tenderness that she wrapped his hands with, I know he felt something. And I thought it was so interesting and coincidental that the line Pen was reading from his journal was, you know, where he talked about all his flings and how he would get out of bed with them but not feel anything. So I thought that was really powerful. And I think that even gave her power in that moment, right? To know that he was still looking for a connection. Because obviously, you know, knowing that he traveled around the world, she probably felt a little, I'm not even going to say jealous, but she probably felt some type of way, right? That the love of your life is going anywhere and everywhere and doing everything and anything, right? But I think in that moment, something we need to realize is that Pen instantly got her power back and got an assurance, right? That certainly there is hope for her and Colin, because he's still searching, because no matter how many women that he's been with during his travels, he's still looking for a connection. He's still looking for heart. So I really think, and I think that is just coming to me as I'm saying this, I think in that moment, Penelope got some power, and Colin, seeing her for the first time, began to get ideas that, okay, this is not just my little sister's little best friend. This is a woman that I can potentially spend the rest of my life with. And guys, let's just stew in this. Let's just stew in that for a little bit longer. It was just perfect. And honestly, from then on, we began to see the progression. I mean, from season 1 and 2, if you pay attention, because I know people were saying, oh, they didn't really have chemistry or whatever. If you pay attention, guys, from seasons 1 and 2, you would always see Colin going to Penelope during events, like when they are at a ball and Pen is like at some random corner. Colin would always seek Pen out. Like, that was just a given. So for anyone that was saying, oh, I don't see it, no, you just need to watch the previous seasons. Colin always sought Pen out. They were like gisting buddies, gossiping partners, you know, when everything is going down, they would always stand at the corner and laugh together. And it was the most beautiful thing to actually see them, you know, progressing. That they still had some of that this season, but then, you know, they took it to the next level. All right, I'm just going to fast forward to the carriage scene. I want to talk about when they were like promenading and then under that sort of like umbrella plants, like the plants that was an umbrella. I thought that was so beautiful that they went in there, had, you know, a little moment of privacy. And I love Pen's maid because she knew what was going on. She knew. Pen's maid was with it. She was with all the shenanigans that was happening, and she would always give Pen space. So yeah, I love that. I love all the little moments that they had, even when Pen's dress ripped at the ball where she did her big reveal and Colin just saw her storming out of the place. Obviously she was upset because Cressida had done what Cressida does, and Colin, you know, went right after her. And now just saying that, I can't remember if that was before or after the scene where Pen wrapped Colin's finger, but if it was before, then it shows you and proves that Colin was always seeking Pen out, and he was always, you know, like looking out for her. Basically, he was always looking out for her, and he was always concerned for her. He always cared about her. Like, and that's, guys, that's the basis of friendship. There is care, and there is actually love. It's just in a platonic sense. So yeah, I thought that scene was cute, how Colin excused himself from the gentleman. And I really like something else in this season. I know people keep saying we didn't really see much of Colin's character development, but I think a lot of it was silent. If you really watch when all the gentlemen in the town were like gossiping and trying to figure out what he did, you know, all his escapades, what he got up to, the women that he lay with, if you notice, Colin tuned out. He was out up to before the carriage scene where his mom, you know, Violet, like we love Violet. So up to the carriage scene where Violet basically gave him the tea and was like, listen, your girl is about to get married, go do something. But yeah, even up to then, you know, we see him walking into the ball building and his guys again are trying to be like, oh, let's go and be reckless. We see him excuse himself from that. So I believe in that regard, there was definitely character development in Colin, because even if he didn't say it, even if it wasn't verbal, he was searching for purpose. He was searching for something more. Obviously, he traveled and gallivanted and done whatever he did, but there was still an emptiness. And we saw that emptiness with how he came back and put on this whole new persona and was like winking at all the girls in the town, and we're like, Colin. And listen, guys, Pen is so shady. Lady Whistledown is so shady for that. But my girl Pen had to pick up her pen. Pen had to pick up her pen and be like, oi, boy, what you doing? What you doing? Just forget about it. You didn't hear it. But yeah, she's like, what's going on? You're not, this is a completely different person. And obviously, guys, when a guy discovers that he's hot, they're like, I don't know how else to say that, but when a guy gets to the point where he discovers that he's a catch, that he's a speck, right? For someone that girls weren't always, you know, oohing and eyeing after him, guys, give him some slack, right? All the reactions, even the awkwardness that everyone is complaining about, it's normal. He wasn't used to that. You know, there are some boys or some men that from when they were little boys, they were really cute and girls were always pursuing them. They are used to it, right? They had all that teenage whatever drama. They got used to it. They got used to girls' attention. Guys, Colin was not used to that. Like Pen, who was a wallflower, he was in some way also a wallflower, in that, you know, yes, he got girls, but like he wasn't the talk of the town like he was in this season. So yeah, it's definitely expected that he would, you know, be a little, I don't know, shy, awkward. And let's not forget, Colin is a shy guy, right? And with shy, quiet guys, when they get lots of attention, it's unnerving. So if anything, it was Colin being unnerved by all the attention he was getting, and then obviously trying to bask in it, right? Like, you want to bask in it. All the girls are looking at you and twirling their hair and twiddling their fingers. You gotta bask in it, right? So guys, please give Colin some slack for, you know, that season 3 part 1 sort of behavior that everyone was complaining about. Now let's go to the carriage scene. I know that's what everyone cares about. I don't know, is there really anything to say? Is there really anything to say about the carriage scene? I don't think so. I think the carriage scene was just perfect. It was perfection. And Pitbull, guys, really, like, Shondaland actually went to Pitbull. I feel like never in a million years would we have thought that Pitbull would be a soundtrack in Bridgerton. But it was. And it was phenomenal. It was amazing. And now I can't even think of a more perfect song for that moment. Oh my goodness. Pen, Colin, Nicola, Luke. I have to give my hats off to the actors. Like, and I was trying not to start with that, or I really want to delve into these actors because guys, season 3 was blood, sweat, and tears. I can see it, I can feel it, I can feel the passion, the love that the actors threw into each of their characters. It was just amazing. Nicola, I'm so happy she's having her big moments. She deserves all of it. She's so incredible. Luke is so amazing. Claudia, Hannah, the new addition, right? It was so beautiful to see a new addition to the Bridgerton family. It was just amazing. Season 3 was phenomenal. I love Violet's garden that we're seeing that's about to be watered. If you watched Queen Charlotte, you know that moment. And guys, it's also funny because I'm jumping away from the carriage scene. 1 second. It's funny because I was telling my friend before the season came out, I was like, I wonder if they're going to explore the storyline between Lady Danbury and Violet, right? Because there was something there when Violet was a little girl. And I was like, I'm really curious if they're going to explore the storyline because they teased it in Queen Charlotte, and I'm so happy that moment came full circle and we were able to get all the backstory, even more backstory than I expected on Lady Danbury and her brother and then Violet. So I thought that was lovely. The women were so mature in the way they handled it, handling their feelings. I thought it was so beautiful. All right, back to the carriage. Guys, that carriage scene was beautiful. I think what I want to talk about is the nano split milli giga nanosecond that Colin felt his heart break and shatter into pieces, guys. Pen did that. Pen did that. She did it. And I think he deserved it, right? Because people were so upset with what Colin said about Pen at the end of season 3. Sorry, at the end of season 2. So I feel like, yes, even though they made up rather quickly. One thing I'm going to say, guys, remember they were friends. They were not strangers. If it's a stranger, you're going to give it to that person. You're going to, but these people are childhood friends. So their making up process is so different, right? It's going to feel quick in our eyes, but remember they have years and years of friendship backing that up. So that's why they were able to sort of, get past what happened at the end of season 2 rather quickly. And obviously we didn't want them dragging it out on the screen. I don't know what you guys wanted, but I didn't want to see that being, dragged out. But I feel like in that moment, if anything, I feel like Penn definitely added salt to the injury in that moment by telling him, yeah, we're friends. What are you thinking? And Colin is like, oh my God, like I can't even act. I can't act to save my life. But in that moment, Colin is now like his life flashes before his eyes. And not just that, what flashes before his eyes is how are we going to continue in this friendship on a platonic sense after I have just confessed and professed my love to this woman that was once my friend, at least, not too long ago we were just friends and now I want us to be lovers. Like all of that flashed before his eyes. He's like, how are we going to go back to being just friends after this? And now I've messed up and she doesn't feel the same way about me. Oh my goodness, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. This is why I don't say anything. This is why I'm a shy guy. Like guys, every single thing flashed before Colin's eyes. And I thought it was so hilarious, but I also know what that, that was painful for him. But then my girl Pen said, let's be more than friends because I've been in love with you since. Oh my gosh, what I should have even started out with was when Pen even observed Colin, when he came back from his travels, and again, as Pen always does, hiding behind the bushes dividing their house. I thought that was such a cute moment. And I think for me, just picturing Pen in a yellow, bright, citrusy dress, I thought that was like the perfect last moment, because honestly in my mind, after that moment, I don't see Pen in bright yellow dress again. I see Pen now being a mature woman, ready to explore and like pursue her love interest. So I don't know, I'm just sharing how it is in my mind. For me, that was like the divider, the hallmark between Penelope, lover girl, Colin doesn't see me, to okay, now you're going to see me, dude. Like you're absolutely going to see me. So I thought that was cute. She just hid there and just observed him, and all the girls in the town were like, Colin. Okay, let's see what else. What else do I want to share? Oh gosh, guys, this look. It is giving. I did a quick face, and today I decided to be a little heavy-handed with my blush. Oh, stunning. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful. And of course, a plane is flying over, so you guys are not going to hear me anyways. So I'm just going to sit here and be pretty. Ooh, stunning. All right, let's see what else. Now, part two. Part two, guys. Part two was legendary. I know a lot of people are talking about all the storylines that sort of took away from Polin, but I'll tell you how I feel like I remedied that for myself. Between part one and part two, guys, I was on YouTube. I was watching all the interviews. So obviously I watched season one again. I wasn't able to really get into season two. I think I just watched one episode. I struggled. I don't really like obviously I love Bridgerton. I would say I love all the seasons, but when I say I don't really like, I mean just the storyline. I didn't really like how Kate's love for Anthony was dragged out. I feel like it was just so painful to watch for me, but I'm definitely going to watch it again because now I need to watch everything from the top. But yeah, just that dragging out. It's like you like him and then you're watching your little sister fall for this guy. Like, what are you doing? Say something. So I think for me, like, that just like annoyed me. I'm just like, oh, Kate, girl, don't do this. But obviously in season 3 they came back and their love matured and it's so beautiful and I love them together. They're obviously incredible. I'm more settled. One of my friends and I were texting, like she said, you know, Anthony is like more settled now in the love, and even Kate's like they are not dramatic. Season 2 they were just so dramatic, and I feel like yeah, in season 3 now they're settled, calm, mature, and it's so beautiful to see, and with their baby on the way. So yeah, I was talking about part 2. I was able to get over the we didn't get enough Colin by watching interviews, and it's not like I did intentionally. Obviously we were just trying to pass time before season 3 part 2 came out, and when I say we, I mean me and all the other Bridgerton lovers that were always in comments. And guys, watching the cast interviews is a completely different experience. It is so beautiful, and I think for me it always ties everything together, because after last year's Queen Charlotte, I did the same thing, watched all the interviews, you know, the cast, everything, like their bonding, it was amazing. And I think for me, it just tied off and put a bow on this already beautiful story for me. And so during that break, I did the same thing. I wanted to wait for everything to come out, and then, you know, I finished watching and then watch interviews. But guys, after some time, I couldn't wait. I could not wait. And oh my goodness, the interviews were so beautiful. Nicola is amazing. Like, just listening to her talk about the characters, her understanding of Pen. Obviously, she's been with this character for the last 5 years. So listening to her explain where Penelope is and where they were taking her to, and even her willingness to wear those gaudy yellow dresses because she understood the vision. She knew that, you know, this girl is a wallflower, and at some point they're going to make her step out of being a wallflower into the limelight. And so her being willing to wear all those colors that obviously, you know, like clashed against her skin tone, like if you were looking into that, but that didn't bother her because it was about the character, not her skin tone. Nicola is just phenomenal. I read her articles. I just went on her Instagram, clicked the link in her bio. Next thing, I was reading her articles. And for me, I write and I read. So that connection to, I don't know, it's different, right? When you read someone's writing, it's different because it feels like you have a whole new understanding of this person. And one of her articles that I read actually like talked about her journey. She was in Dairy Girls, and, you know, obviously her career has spanned a lot of years, and she's just overcome the struggles of trying to make it big, right? Trying to make it big in that industry. And now she has her big moments, and it's just beautiful. Like, I don't know, I really, really enjoyed her story. And there was even an article she wrote about, you know, just being a woman in that movie acting industry. It's just different, and obviously her Irish background. So anyways, now let's fast forward to interviews. In interviews, something very beautiful that I learned about Nicola and her portrayal of Penelope was how she actually changed up the voices. She intentionally changed up the voices for Penelope across every season. So if you watch season 1, Pen was more like high pitched. You know, she demonstrated it. I'm gonna pretend I can do it like hi mama, you know, like Penelope was very hi mama in season 1, and then she shared how in season 2 she dropped Pen's voice a little bit more, and then in season 3, right, we now have the Pen that we see, the Pen that's now like, oh hey Mr. Bridgerton or whatever, you know. And guys, when I watched that in interviews, I just fell in love. Like I fell in love with Nicola Coughlan. I was just like, what? Mind blown. I didn't know actors do that. Like I just thought, you know, they see a script, whatever accent they need to portray, you know, let's say they're British and they need to switch to an American accent. I just thought they do that and that's it. But obviously as a woman that's playing a sort of teenage to early adult life character, and not just that, it's not even just the age, it's the entire storyline surrounding Penelope, right? How she was perceived in her family and considered by her sisters and her mom, how no one really pays attention to her. And so it's so interesting that she shaped Pen, even with Pen's voice, a very cute, childish, girly voice, and then matures it, even more in season 3. Guys, it is so beautiful. And so in that moment, you see that it was not just the costumes and the hair and the dress that changed. It's not just costumes that worked for Pen's new growth. It wasn't just on the outside. It was even with the voice of the character. And oh my God, guys, can you already tell how much I'm in love? Like, is this doing any justice? Because I'm just in love. I just turned on the camera to tell you guys that I'm in love with Bridgerton season 3 cast. I'm in love with Nicola Coughlan. I'm in love with Luke Newton. That's my newest crush. So I guess I can turn off the camera now because that's all I wanted to let the world know, that I'm in love. Guys, it's so amazing to be able to witness people bring characters to life and put their hearts into it. Guys, even Claudia, Eloise, oh, I love Eloise. Eloise is my girl. Guys, even Claudia, apparently, Claudia did a moment of, I think improv is what they call it. Claudia did improv. So the scene where, and now I feel like I'm going to give you guys Bridgerton trivia because I've watched so many interviews and I know, okay, I'll give you guys a tea. So Claudia actually did improv for the scene where Lord Kilmartin comes in and says that he wants to call on one of Violet's daughters. So obviously, you know, all the siblings were in the back and Gregory was there, and Gregory is a boy. So because Lord Kilmartin is like, I want to call on one of your daughters, and we all know how Eloise is. Eloise is not interested, even though she fell in love with that boy last season. I thought their love was so cute. So Claudia does a quick moment of improv by hiding behind Gregory. Guys, watch it again. Apparently it was not in the director's, you know, sort of notes, or the director did not tell her to do that. She just quickly did an improv and it was phenomenal. Like the way she quickly ran and hid behind Gregory, it was so funny. Claudia is hilarious, even in real life. Like guys, if you watch the Bridgerton cast interviews, they are all like, they are actually all the family. Like they get along. And I'm not trying to say, you know, those toxic workplaces that they're like, oh, we're a family. No, not that. Not that. I mean, like the Bridge siblings, I think that's what the boys call themselves. The Bridge siblings, the Bridge boys. They're just, it's just a refreshing age for Hollywood. And I think I said this before in my review of Queen Charlotte. Like it's refreshing to see these young people being able to do press interviews and be themselves while also still understanding the depth of their work, right? Obviously, they're not going to come and, you know, for the sake of being themselves, spill everything. No, they're not going to do that. But they are themselves. They embrace their work. They embrace the characters they played. And they know, most importantly, they know what the fans are looking for and they give it to us. They give us everything that we're looking for. For example, we know that the director yelled cut, and for 10 minutes, our carriage scene pros were still going ahead in the carriage. Like, you know, they know that this is what fans are looking for. Like, we want to understand, what was it like filming that moment? What was it like acting it? Obviously, we're not saying spill every single detail, but we're excited for you guys being able to, you know, live Pen and Colin's life. So tell us, like, let us know, bring us behind, you know, behind the scenes with you. So yeah, I thought that was really hilarious that they didn't hear the director yelling cut and until they were banging on the door of the carriage, and just beautiful. And obviously how they broke the furniture. I think, yeah, a lot of you should know that. Yeah, they broke furniture in season 3 part 2 filming. Guys, the mirror scene, Guys, the mirror scene. The mirror scene was beautiful. I think we needed it. And actually, I put something on my Instagram the other day. I was like, you know what? I'm sure directors, like male directors, are throwing rocks at themselves somewhere, because if they knew that, and I'm saying this because I watched reactions, so men's reactions to Bridgerton season 3 on TikTok, right? If you check TikTok, you see men were reacting, wives were even posting, their husbands reacting. One woman in comments even said, she's like, my husband does not watch this show at all, but tell me why he walked into the room at the exact moment. So it was so hilarious. Anyway, so because of that, right, I was like, imagine directors and whatever, like literally throwing rocks at themselves and being like, ah, darn, like feeling so stupid. Because for the longest time, women have been saying, we want to see different body types, cast different body types, cast, more fuller women, voluptuous women, cast them in roles, right? Let's see women of different shapes and sizes in love scenes and in main characters. And at that moment, I was like, definitely directors are kicking themselves so hard because they've neglected listening to women. And I was like, okay, even if it's just for yourselves, right? Because we know men are very selfish. Even if it's just for your selfishness, didn't you guys think that you would want to see, right? That you'd want to see women of different shapes on screen? Oh, you didn't think that? So I remember like posting something like that on my Instagram. So I really hope that with, this Bridgerton season 3, making a woman that's not the regular size, making her the main character and the love interest, I hope it makes directors and film people, TV show people all over the world actually begin to rethink their choices when they cast characters. And even writers, make them rethink when they're writing a character. Like, does this person have to be a size 2 and a size 0? Does it always have to be that portrayal? So yeah, I shared that in my stories. I was like, yeah, I'm sure now, like, even just for the interest of men, loving to look at women's bodies, I'm sure now they're like, oh, we want to see that again. We want to see that again. So yeah, if you're a man and you're in the movie industry, please begin to write stories for and cast and direct TV shows and movies with women that have different body types. Like, we want to see it. Like, Pen, that was a beautiful moment. That mirror scene was stunning. Colin giving directions, I thought it was beautiful. And something I'm going to say, right, because I know people do so many analyses of Bridgerton. This is my own analysis, okay? Something I'm going to say is, do you guys notice how Philippa and I can't remember the other one's name, but Pen's sisters, they didn't know. They didn't know how to sire an heir, right? Sire was season 1, sorry. But they didn't know how to, like, quickly give Lady Featherington her grandchild that would, I guess, help them with their inheritance or whatever. They didn't know how to do the marital act. They just didn't know. But my girl Pen knew. How did Pen know? Because Pen be reading. Guys, do you see? Because Pen's sister, she was like, oh yeah, and then he pulls up his breeches. And the other sister is like, wait, what? He keeps his breeches on. They're like, oh yeah, we just kissed. She didn't know. But guys, Pen knew, because Pen be reading. When Pen is in those books, my girl be reading. And so in that mirror scene, she was able to, tell Colin, like, no, tell me what to do. Like, I want to be involved. I don't just want to lay here. And I thought that was so beautiful and so powerful. And I could feel the passion and just the gentleness of the actors in that scene. It was beautiful. I don't know what else to say. It was beautiful. And we wanted more. We wanted more. Yes, we the people wanted more. Guys, so funny. I woke up last week Sunday. The first thing on my mind, like, this is Sunday after season 3 part 2 has come out. The first thing on my mind before I even opened my eyes was, Colin and Pen are authors. Why didn't we get a scene of them on their table? Guys, that's what I thought about. And guys, it is so true, right? Because in season 1, the Duke, right, when he's sorting out the farmers' issues or whatever, and he's always in his office, we got a scene of them on the table. So how on this earth, and I haven't read the books yet, but I'm actually ordering the book after filming this. So that's going to be my summer read, and I'm so excited. But how on earth, right, even if that was not in the books, how on earth could the directors miss out that beautiful, delicate detail? And I think they could have even done it as a nod back to when Pen was caught reading, when Colin caught Pen reading his diaries. They could have made that a nod back to it, plus the whole